Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Folks, today we're going to dive deep into how exactly stats are calculated in Game of Thrones Winter is Coming. So where I want to start is with the screen that you get if you go to train any T4 troop, really any troop at all, but specifically looking at these numbers over here on the right. So I'm going to focus today's video on infantry, mostly because they give us a nice round number of 100 attack. Now, let's be clear that this attack number is not the only thing that matters. Of course, health and defense also plays a role, but for the most part, attack is going to be what determines how much damage you deal to your opponent, and that's why we care about it the most. If we compare it to cavalry, spears, and bowmen, we can see that infantry is a little bit lower than the others. And then similarly, if we go up to tier 5s, then we're going to get a big jump to 134, 137, 139, and 150. Rather than expect you to remember all of those numbers, what I've done right here is I've just made a little note for you, and it's got all of the base levels here on the left. We're going to be going through a lot of this information. But so as you can see, tier 4, we've got inf, cav, spear, and bows going up, and then at tier 5 I have them again with the increases. So as you can see, you actually get more increase out of infantry than you do of any others. This in some ways makes infantry a lot better and a much better one to be improving to tier 5 versus cavalry or spears or bows, which are still going to be good obviously, but not as big of a jump up. So how exactly does this whole number work? Well, if we go back into the game, there's a recent addition that people are probably already aware of, but with red weapons, you can actually increase the total base stat of a particular troop type. So if I look at my Oathkeeper and I go here, you can see that my Spearman base attack, I get a bonus of 7. The maximum you can get for this would be an increase of 10. If you got it all the way full, that would be 10 bonus base attack for Spearman because this is a spear weapon. I could do the same for cavalry, for this Snow Wolf weapon, or similarly infantry for Chris's Oath weapon. Okay, so keeping in mind we can increase our base attack this way, going back to our note, as we can see here, you can get a max of 10 bonus. So I guess the real question that we have here is what's better? Is it better to get more bonus stats, or is it better to get more base attack? And the answer is pretty overwhelmingly to get more base. And here's the example that I've done right here to help you understand this. So if you have 600% infantry attack and 300% total attack, you would combine this when we're talking about how much damage your infantry can do. You combine 600 and 300, you get 900. I'm calling it infantry bonus attack. Now, the way that this is calculated is you're going to take that 900%, divide it by 100, so you get 9, and then you add 1, and that's your infantry attack multiplier. So based on 900 divided by 100, that gives you 9, plus 1 is 10. Your infantry attack multiplier is times 10. So that means if we go back to our infantry, if we look at infantry's base attack for tier 4 infantry, we get 100 attack. That means 100 times 10 gives 1,000. Same thing for cavalry, be 1,050. 1,150 for spears, and 1,250 for bows. So you can see that right off the bat, you're getting 250 more for bows than you do for infantry. So there's a big leg up in having more base attack. Okay, so coming back over here, as we said, you get 1,000 attack from 100 base times that 10 multiplier. Now, if we look at having a red weapon that had 10 bonus attack, which would be the max, which would be great. Our base would be 110, not 107. Let's just fix that. There we go, 110. So the new stats would be 110 base times the 10 multiplier. So you get 1,100 attack. As you can see, 100 increased because that 10 increase in base was multiplied by 10. Now, without the red weapon, you could also achieve this by simply getting 100% more stats. If you had 700% infantry attack plus 300% total, you get 1,000. 1,000 divided by 100 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So you got 11 attack multiplier. That's 100 base times 11 multiplier would also give you that same 1,100 attack. So you can kind of trade off the 10 base stats versus 100% more stats. Now, the reason why I point this out is that, as you know from using the weapons, the max you can get for cavalry, infantry, spear, or bowman increase is not 100%. You can get maybe like 20 or 25% is the best. I think for the red weapons, I believe, here I can show you, it is far, far less. If I look at my Snow Wolf here, you can see that my cavalry attack is maxed at 20%. So only 20% more versus if this was a fully red base attack is going to be a lot better. But the other thing to keep in mind is that it is increasing linearly with the more stats that you have. So let's say instead of just having 1,000 as my kind of bonus, or sorry, 900% as my bonus, if I started with something that's probably bigger, for a bigger account, is probably more accurate. Let's say I have like 1,300% infantry attack and 600% total attack. So 1,900% bonus, a 20 times multiplier again, 1,900 divided by 100, 19 plus 1 is 20, 20 times multiplier. Now, that 10 base attack that I'm getting would go from 2,000 infantry attack to 2,200. Okay, so a 200 increase. If I wanted to get that increase with a red weapon, then I would need to have 200% more bonus attack in order to get it without the red weapon plus 10. So as you can see, the more stats you already have, the better that base stat increase is going to be. Similarly, you can think of it, if you have a higher base attack already, then those stats are going to be worth that much more. Again, it's a linear relationship, so you really want to be increasing both of them. That's how you're going to max it out. But clearly, it's better to have those full base stats than it is to have just pure, a 20% cavalry or infantry attack bonus. Getting a full 10 bonus on the base stats is going to be a lot better. So I hope that makes sense and hopefully kind of clarified exactly how the relationship between base stats and percentage increases works, and hopefully can clarify for you what you want to prioritize on your account. I know that I kind of made the decision to lock in these total attacks and cav attacks, and it probably wasn't the wisest of decisions. I wish I could get some more base attack down instead. As we've established, getting some base stats are going to be a lot better, but I'm going to keep re-rolling them. I've got a good amount of reforged ores left, and hopefully I'll get some base stats in there by the time I have finished re-rolling all of them. But until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you learned a thing or two, but I'll see you again next time.